As it turns out, I did receive a gift from Santa, which is the honey extractor. I already put it together, kind of. I didn't put the legs on because there were some reviews that apparently it can be a little bit unstable on the legs, especially if you don't have the right number of frames to extract honey from. So I decided not to use any legs. I may as well extract honey by putting it on the floor. I can simply attach the crankshaft, which is here, and I can extract honey right on the floor. And when I need to fill the bottles, I can actually put it on some kind of stool or a chair or something like that and extract honey from there. So today I'm going to test it, see how it goes. The extractor is a 3-frame extractor. It has lids, nice transparent lids, so you can see how the extraction takes place. You can remove them, and you've got a system for extracting honey from 3 frames. And it seems to me that the whole process is relatively simple. It won't be probably rotating that easy with the 3 full frames, but it seems quite easy to operate. In the meantime, I already removed the frames full of honey from the freezer. I let them stay in the box for the last few hours to allow them to thaw and get to the room temperature. They are not quite yet at room temperature. They are probably a little bit coolish, which means the honey extraction may not be as good. So I will probably need to wait a little bit longer, but in the meantime I'll try to remove the wax, open up the cells, and maybe even load the honey extractor to leave them there so they can warm up there a little bit further. I already have my knife prepared. I have a scraper. I will be experimenting a little bit because I'm doing it for the first time. I noticed some of the wax projects past the frame, so the knife may be easy way to go, just along the frame to cut off the wax. Some of the wax is a little bit further inside the frame, so the knife probably won't help it much, so it probably will be a scraper. But this is the first time I'm going to do it, so there will be a little bit of experimentation involved. Hopefully everything will go all right. And the first frame is ready. And the second frame is ready. And now let's go for the third one. For the time being, I'm only going to uncap 3 frames because I've got a 3-frame extractor and I don't want to leave the 4th uncapped frame in the room temperature for too long before putting into the extractor, because I'm just afraid the honey will be flowing out of it, which I'd rather avoid. I'd rather the honey flows directly into the extractor. So the 3 frames that I'm going to uncap right now go straight into the extractor and they will sit there for another few hours until the honey gets to the room temperature, whilst the frame number 4, I will keep it capped for the time being, and I will only uncap it later on, directly before placing it into the extractor. So I'm not going to lose too much honey into a tray potentially full of wax. Oh wow, here the comb is really way out of the frame. I'm trying to get the wax off in such a way that I won't get too much honey with it. I need to be gentle. Alright, I think I use the scraper for the rest. This must have been the frame that was against the wall of the box, and therefore there was probably a little bit more space there, and the bees went totally wild and tried to fill the space. I think we are okay now. All right, let's get it in. And we have all 3 frames in. I'm going to leave it like that for another couple of hours, let them get properly to the room temperature, and then we will start extracting honey. And here we've got all the wax that I scraped off or cut off, with a little bit of honey, of course. Maybe we'll clean it and we'll have some wax for God knows what. Candles, protecting timber, maybe. Wax is a good timber protection material. We'll see. Whilst I'm waiting for honey to still get to the room temperature, it's still quite cool, I experimented a little bit with wax extraction. So I took a pot, poured some boiling water and put wax in it. And half an hour later, after cooling it down, I ended up with something like that. There is not much of it. It's quite thin, mind you, but there's not much of it, and you can probably see there are some impurities in it because I haven't run it through a sieve or a cloth or anything like that. I didn't try to filter it in any way yet. So this is just purely as it comes out of the pot. When I want to use it, I will probably melt it again and then I will filter it into something which will be a little bit more purer a pure wax. Right now there are some impurities in it, but what is interesting also is the fact, which I didn't realize in this whole process, is the fact that when I started pouring the water out of the pot, it started coming up a little bit brownish. And maybe that was my stupidity, maybe this is the common knowledge, but I just realized when I put the wax with bits of honey into the water and the wax got extracted by melting on top of the water, what is left in the water is just pure honey. So I don't mind tasting it, and it is very, very sweet honey water. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Maybe just add some lemon or lime and drink it, but I'm definitely going to find some use for it, which means that purely nothing is going to waste in this process. I will extract honey, I will extract wax, and even the honey which is melted already with the wax, I can extract more honey. So I'm winning here on every front. Okay, a few hours later, and I think we are ready to extract some honey. The honey is already in room temperature. We've got summer in Sydney right now, but unfortunately it's not a very warm or hot day. It's a little bit cooler today, 25 degrees, so that's probably about the temperature of the honey. Should be enough to extract it. I heard somewhere they were saying that you can't rotate those frames too quickly because the centrifugal force may damage the frame, may break the comb. Unfortunately, they don't tell you how fast is too fast and how fast is just right. But I think I've done a pretty good job. The frames are relatively clean on both sides. There's a little bit of honey in a couple of cells, but not many. But generally, I can say it's reasonably clean. So I think I've done a pretty good job overall. There's one more frame left, the frame number 4, that I haven't started uncapping yet, but I'm pretty happy with those ones. It turns out it's much more difficult to extract honey from a single frame in a drum that has been designed for 3 frames. It's very unbalanced, so you need to be very careful, and you can't really get it to the speed that I achieved previously with the other frames. It was a little bit not scary, but concerning that, you know, I may damage something. So the lesson for future is extract honey in multiples of 3 frames. 3, 6, 9, whatever. So there's always 3 frames in the drum. However, I think I achieved a reasonably good result. The frame is basically, I think, almost clean. So that's good. Now, time for putting the honey into the jars. So to get the honey into the jars, I set up a little system here. I elevated the drum so it's a little bit higher, and down below, in the first instance, I've got a pot with a sieve, so I can sieve out, hopefully, the wax that is in the honey, or most of it anyway. And then from the pot I will be filling in the jars. It's a little bit homemade system, but let's get started. It took a little while to run all the honey through the sieve and separate it from the wax, but here we've got the results of our extraction. So I've got a 2-liter jar, another 2-liter jar, 1.5 here, and a couple of small jars here. This one is not full, so 2, 4, 5.5, probably around 6.5, maybe just over 6.5 liters, which would make about 10 kilos of honey from 4 frames. That's not a bad result. And in addition to this, I've got some lime and honey juice wherever I left it. Here it is. Cheers.